The air in Giovanni's South Central living room hung thick with the smell of cheap weed, stale pizza, and the nervous energy of five souls chasing a dream that glittered with both gold and danger. Dominoes clacked against the worn card table, each thud punctuating a tense silence that stretched longer than the last. Giovanni, built like a tank despite his 27 years, a Crip from the east side through and through, sported a fresh taper fade, his brow furrowed in concentration, not on the game, but on the blueprints spread across the table. Across from him, Calvin, 29, tall and lanky with hazel eyes and long cornrows, a blood from West L.A., shifted nervously, his usually relaxed demeanor taut with anticipation. "All right, so we've been running these armored routes for 6 months now," Giovanni began, tracing a finger over a schematic of the Federal Reserve Building with the air of a general planning a siege. "Deposit runs, withdrawal runs, the whole nine. We know the routines, the routes, the personnel changeovers. It's tight, but it's exploitable." Calvin nodded, picking up a domino and fiddling with it. "They got cameras everywhere, motion sensors, pressure plates, laser grids in the corridors leading to the main vault, the whole Rambo package." He paused, a wry smile touching his lips. "Good thing we got our own Rambo." He gestured to Janice, a brown-skinned woman of 30, with captivating almond-shaped eyes, framed by individual dookie braids, sitting poised and observant. She used to date Calvin in high school, and while those days were long gone, her sharp mind, honed by a few semesters at ITT Tech, was still undeniable.
The cameras are standard issue, IP-based, running on a closed network.
Janice interjected, her voice smooth but carrying an edge of authority.
I can patch into their feeds, create a 2-minute loop for each camera in our designated zones. That gives us a window. Motion sensors are infrared, easy enough to bypass if you know the pattern, which I do. Pressure plates are trickier, but Marlon here's got an idea for those, right, big fella?
Marlon, 28, dark-skinned and stocky, with glasses that often led strangers to underestimate him, just grinned, a quick flash of teeth. He was a journeyman, recently unionized, and Giovanni's longtime friend, known in his youth for a knockout punch that could flatten elephants. Pressure plates? Piece of cake. A couple of strategically placed shims, a little weight distribution, and they won't even know we walked through. The real bitch is the vault door itself. It's solid steel, probably a foot thick, reinforced with rebar, a timed lock, and a chemical explosion plate. Not to mention the primary and secondary locking mechanisms. So what's the play, architect? KP, youngest of the crew at 22, still an active banger, but a new father desperate for a score, leaned forward. He had a tattooed teardrop on his face, but his eyes held a new kind of weariness. He'd recently joined Giovanni and Calvin on the armored guard gig, thanks to a surprisingly clean record. "We ain't blowing that shit, are we?" Marlon chuckled, a low rumble. "Nah, too messy. Too much attention. The plan is to get inside as guards. Calvin and Giovanni already got the intel from being on the route. We're part of a scheduled transfer from the Federal Reserve to a regional bank. We'll be in uniform, with the truck, looking official as hell." Giovanni picked up. "We're making a withdrawal, basically. Only, it ain't for no bank. We'll have the manifest, signed off, everything legit. Janice will handle the digital side, swapping out the real manifest with one she creates, routing the request through a dummy account, making it look like a high-value transfer."
It's about timing and precision.
Janice added, her gaze sweeping over the faces around the table.
Every second counts. The moment we're inside, the clock starts ticking for the loop. We disable comms, get to the vault, do the transfer, and get out before anyone's the wiser.
Calvin stood up from the couch, a sudden need for fresh air hitting him. "Hold on a sec, Jay," he said to Janice, a rare softness in his voice, a ghost of their past. "Let's step outside for a minute." They walked out onto the small, patchweedy lawn, the hum of distant traffic a constant reminder of the city that had shaped them. The streetlights cast long, distorted shadows. "Man, what the hell are we doing, Janice?" Calvin asked, running a hand through his cornrows, his voice barely above a whisper. "A Federal Reserve? Like we went from boosting cars and slanging rocks to this? What happened to us?" Janice leaned against the fence, a sad smile playing on her lips.
What happened, Calvin? Life. We wanted more than these concrete walls and corner store dreams. You wanted out of the hood. I wanted a real life, not just a struggle. You stayed locked in that gang life, and I just kept fighting for something better. We lost each other in the crossfire.
Her eyes, usually so sharp, were clouded with a faraway look.
Funny, isn't it? Here we are, back together, planning a fucking heist. Who would have thought?
Calvin looked at her, truly looked at her, and remembered the spark, the fire, the girl who could argue him into a corner and charm him out of his pants. We could have had something real, you know, back then.
Yeah, well, back then is a ghost.
She said, her voice hardening, the practical Janice pushing through the nostalgia.
And right now, we got a job to do. Too much on the line to be reminiscing.
Their moment, raw and unfinished, was abruptly broken by Giovanni's booming voice from the doorway. "Yo, you two lovebirds done caking. I mean catching up? We got a vault to crack, not a picnic to plan." Back inside, the dominoes lay untouched. Their plan, refined and brutal, was laid bare. 2 weeks.
In the shadows where the truth they hide, whispers call me to the other side. Searching for the light I know is there, but the night feels heavy,